Every year, I put out a calendar highlighting some of my all-time favorite photos. A question that I get asked all the time is, where was this photo taken? This year, I included a QR code on each calendar page that links to a deep dive on that photo. In today's video, I'm going to take you behind the scenes of each photo in the 2024 Aerochase calendar. January's photo was taken in Orange Lake, New York. I took this shot during a walk through the woods in February, right after a snowstorm. I had no idea how difficult it would be to fly my drone in such a cold environment until that day. I'll never forget how cold my fingers were. In this photo, I love the contrast between the white snow and the black asphalt of the road. I love the way that the road runs diagonally through the photo, emphasizing the dramatic color divide. I like to include seasonal photos in the calendar every year, and I've been waiting for a chance to show this one off. February's photo was taken in Lauterbrunnen, Switzerland. I spent the weekend in Switzerland at the beginning of the summer, and I took this shot during a long walk through a valley in the Alps. Most of the walk was through fields and rolling hills, but at one point we crossed a river, and this view stopped me in my tracks. I composed this photo with the river leading the eye up towards the cliff face and the fog. The icy blue water is a nice bonus. My favorite part of this photo is the way that the fog is hanging low over the sea. March's photo was taken in Malibu, California. I took this shot near the end of a hike with some friends on a visit to Los Angeles. As we were walking, I looked behind me and I saw this scene, an empty trail leading to an infinite blue sky. Simplicity is a common theme in my photos, and I love that this simple scene was already there just waiting to be captured. I included this photo as a reminder of summer days spent with friends. April's photo was taken in Lauterbrunnen, Switzerland. I took this shot right after I got off of a 6 a.m. train into town. I looked over and I saw this cabin on the hillside. My idea for the composition was to isolate the cabin by framing it between the clouds above and the trees. The overcast morning evokes a feeling of solitude and peace in the photo. My favorite part of this image is the halo of clouds hanging just above the house. May's photo was taken in my hometown of Fort Worth, Texas. I took this photo on a school playground while on a walk with my wife. I looked up as we passed the hoop, and I saw the moon just peeking out behind the backboard. I knew that I had to capture it. I had to almost lay down on the ground to get the composition exactly right. I love the minimalist feel of this photo. The clear blue sky is the perfect backdrop to draw focus towards the basketball hoop and the moon. I love basketball, so I had to include this photo in the calendar this year. June's photo was taken in New York City. Sometimes, when the sun starts to set and the sky lights up, I'll grab my camera and I'll jog out to the Hudson River. On the night that I snapped this photo, I ran out just in time to see the clouds light up bright orange. Minimalism is one of my main artistic themes. I love the use of negative space in this photo, making this one of my favorite minimalist photos. I included the photo in the calendar because even though it is so simple, I could sit and look at it for hours. July's photo was taken in Newport Beach, California. I went to the beach by myself one afternoon to fly my drone. A storm was rolling in, so I took advantage of the dramatic lighting conditions for this photo. One of my favorite parts of this shot is the movement of the water and the waves. The contrast of the sand on the beach and the deep blues of the water further add to this dramatic scene. I included this photo in the calendar because top-down drone photography is at the core of Aerochase, and this shot is one of my favorite top-down shots of the year. August's shot was taken in Governor's Island in New York City. Governor's Island is one of my favorite places to visit in the summertime in New York. It's the closest landmass to the Statue of Liberty, making it the perfect vantage point to capture a photo of the iconic landmark. I composed this photo with the blurry greenery framing the Statue of Liberty, and I love that the framing grounds the photo and focuses all of your attention on her. I love including shots from my adventures in New York in the calendar every year, so I'm glad that this photo turned out. September's photo was taken in Hong Kong. I was visiting Hong Kong for work, and I went up to Victoria Peak one night to see a view of the city during sunset. While I was waiting for the sun to set, I flew my drone and I took this shot. Hong Kong is such a dynamic city, and this photo captures a little slice of that. My favorite part of this photo is that you can find a new detail every single time that you look at it. October's photo was taken in Jersey City, New Jersey. I took the train to New Jersey to film a YouTube video at sunrise with the New York City skyline in the background. On my way back to New York, I found this spot, and I knew that I had to pull out my camera and take a shot. The composition is one of my favorites of the entire calendar. I love the symmetry of the trees framing the World Trade Center, and I also love how the soft morning light hits the skyline and turns the trees golden. I included this shot in the calendar because of the symmetry and simplicity. November's photo was taken in Branningham, New York. Astrophotography is one of my favorite styles of photography. It has taken me years of practice, but this summer, while on vacation in upstate New York, I took this shot. I composed the photo to emphasize the Milky Way and the night sky, while still including a tree in the foreground. I find that the tree grounds the photo and makes the size of the Milky Way even more impressive. I included this photo in the calendar because it took me 10 late nights to capture, and I'm so happy with the result. December's photo was taken in Lauterbrunnen in Switzerland. I was on a walk through a valley surrounded by massive waterfalls when I found this path headed straight for a cliff face. The composition of this shot uses the path to draw your eyes upward to the cliff face. The scale of these cliffs filled me with wonder, and this photograph captures a small piece of that. If you want to buy a calendar, they're live on my website, linked down below for pre-orders. I love sharing my photography with all of you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.